Hello parents, welcome to Unicorn Activity. This is Darshna. So this video is about behavior correction. It's been nearly 2 to 3 months or more than that. I keep making a video on behavior correction and the materials on behavior correction, but due to some or other, this got delayed. So the material is not yet been ready, but I will be sharing books or some source of information which you can use for behavior correction. And for personally myself, behavior is the major thing, because like Vaishnav is also having behavior issues. He is having a lot of attention seeking behavior, and I am working on it. Other than that, like previously we had a lot of behavior like screaming, shouting, running. All this got reduced completely, or I would say it has been gone completely, but still something related to attention seeking, it is being still there. So gradually, by age and the various methods, we can modify it. So first thing I would like to tell, when a child is being diagnosed at the age of mostly now the kids are being diagnosed with autism around the age of 2 or even before that, right? So the thing, or we can't tell it is a behavior, but instead we could see lot of issues which are being faced by the child. For example, for Vaishnav, it was like he used to cry. He used to cry around midnight, when it will be around 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock around at night. He will start crying, and he will just get down from the bed and roll himself on the floor. And my father, he used to take him for a car ride. Still he will not be quiet. He used to cry for nearly 1 to 2 hours consistently, and he had very lot of we don't know the reason behind his cry or his uncomfortable. He was very uncomfortable. So what I understood, so he was diagnosed at the age of 2. So what I understood, that after a lot of years of working with autistic kids and working with my son, that the initial stage, it is related to sensory issues, or it will be some or other kind of health issues. So for sensory issues, what we can do is we can go to a OT. We can do OT therapy under a therapist according to the IEP they give by looking at the child. For example, if the child is having lot of running issues or some kind of sensory issues related to sound, so according to that, the therapist will be giving you the perfect guidance, and follow that. I just don't want to go in depth of OT and OT therapists, because most of the parents who are in YouTube, they must be knowing well about OT and the methods and the therapy which is being done. So the next thing which I observed was health issues. Vaishnav had lot of health issues. He used to get frequently cold, cough, and he had gut issues. He will not do potty for 2 to 3 days, and so there were lot of gut issues. And even for food also, he will be eating some food, the texture he will not like, or I should mash the food in mash the food, and I should feed him, he will not chew. So there were so many issues related to food. So as soon as his diagnosis was done, our doctor suggested to follow a diet, and I think within the period of 1 to 1.5 years, his gut issues, biting, everything he was not doing. So this thing and all was he could do comfortably, and he started eating whatever new food I will be giving him. I was not giving him sugar or anything which is sweet, or even I could say that I have stopped milk products. Still I don't give him milk. So apart from that wheat, I have started to give him. He's doing quite good with the diet now. I don't face much issues with health anymore, touch wood. So next thing which I observed was within the period of when he was around 4 years, with the help of diet and therapy, uh, especially because we were doing OT at home and even at the therapy center, he was settled. He could sit with me for a tabletop activity, right? And this is the major benefit with the OT, and that's the reason why the parents should start OT immediately after the diagnosis, because some kids are not hyper, they will be like very calm. For them, I don't know what the doctor or the therapist suggests you should follow, but the kids like my son Vaishnav, definitely OT is important because he was always in the moment. So with OT, he was completely, I won't say completely settled, but he was able to sit with me for a tabletop activity from the for 5 to 10 minutes, then gradually for 20 minutes, with lot of breaks. He was able to complete the task which was given for a speech or special education. So see, major thing is when we go for a OT, it is one-to-one therapy. Like for the one therapy should be looking after the one child. So this should be done if your child is being diagnosed. Okay, so later on what happened, by the age of 6, with lot many intervention and lot many therapies, he was very good with the communication skill, and also he could communicate his needs. That's a major thing. If the child is not able to communicate his needs, he will be finding difficulty and the behavior will be shown up. So for Vaishnav, he started communicating, but still he was showing some or other behavior issues, like he was restless. So the next thing which I understood was OT was the something he was able to do completely independently, according to the instruction of the therapist. So it was no more needed. By the age of 6, or I would say 5.9, I have stopped OT, and then I came across yoga, mainly for his restlessness. He will be sitting with the activity, he will cooperate with me for more than 1 hour also, no problem, but he will be restless. He will have some or other movements and so on. So I started yoga at home twice a day, morning and evening. So there are lot many videos in my channel where Vaishnav is doing yoga activity at home. And after a 6, myself and my husband were training him at home, and it was very simple. What I did was I took a picture of different yoga poses. I used to stick it in wall, and he should follow each and everything, like one is being done, then second one, third one. So he learned the yoga poses. Now the second thing every parent should know is our kids should be able to communicate, and the communication is not only with the parents, right? They should be able to communicate with the society, people around them, in the school or anywhere they go. So that is something which we are looking forward for, a independent life. So this was my next intention. So for that, what I did was, my first step was to take him for a yoga class, that too in a group classes. So we got a yoga master, and he was taking classes under him, and we continued that class, not on a one-to-one section, in a group. And so it was good, and we continued it for nearly 1 year, I think. Then when he learned yoga, then I think I moved to the swimming. Then we started swimming, and even for swimming there was no special trainers given to him. He learned swimming by instruction only, like my husband used to give him instruction and he learned, and there were once a trainer also. The second thing was gymnastic class, and recently only we started it, but it's going really wonderful. I should say thanks to the team. It is being done in a group section only. So something like I am giving importance to the group classes, like tuition. I was sending him for tuition classes. So anything where if the child is very restless and you think that the focus and attention should be improved, he should follow instruction in a group. So look for an activities or the sports games like basketball, football, any games for where the child will be draining his energy, as well as he would be getting a peer interaction also. Problem which we see when we talk about behavior, it is something I feel it's been there with every kid. It's not like neurodiverse or neurotypical. The behavior issues or something inappropriate behavior kids will be having, right? So is having attention seeking behavior. Most of the time he will be just eating our ear, and we get so much anger. So what we have to do is when you should identify what kind of behavior the child is doing. So it was attention seeking behavior for us, and we try to avoid it. When it is a attention seeking behavior, you should avoid it. When it is escapism, like if your child, you're calling them for sitting for an activity and he is telling like I want to go to susu, or he will just keep on cry every day when we make the child to sit for an activity and he start crying. He just goes around, moving around, telling some or other kind of excuses. So this is everything related to escapism. So for that, what I suggest is you can keep some kind of reinforcement, like going to park. We can go to park today evening after completing the task, or mama will be giving you Kit Kat or anything. See, when you look at the reinforcement side, there are many things which you can use. Only thing is that you should choose the reinforcement most important for a kid, like any toy. My son likes snake and ladder, so what I do, I just keep it. I will be hiding it, and I will be giving him only after finishing a set of activity or homework or classwork, anything. So this is something we can try for escapism, or any other reinforcement can be used for making a child complete his activity goals or IEP or anything. We are looking into the behavior correction method. One more important point which I came across the behavior correction is most of the time when the child starts showing a behavior, we ourselves are not able to control. The child will be, let it be child the verbal or non-verbal. I am not talking about the communication side, but when we look into the behavior, as soon as the child starts showing up the behavior, the parent also starts shouting, screaming, hitting, and we'll be using lot many words, and this thing will be just like a magnet child used to learn. So whatever we are not able to control our emotions, this thing child learns. So whenever the child is showing any kind of behavior, make sure parents should be very calm. It's most important. Every parent should learn to control their emotions when the child is showing any kind of behavior. Okay, the next thing which like recently schools are being started. So what I have done is I have written a list of rules to be followed. Like there will be a house rule and there will be a school rule. He should follow house rule. For example, at house he should not. First rule is listen to acha and amma. Listen to parents. Don't say no to anything. Instead, you should tell yes, amma, I will do it. And most important, don't show anger. Instead, use your words to communicate. This was our house rule. And the school rule are really very long, that you should listen to your teachers, you should be at your place, no roaming around, and if you need any help, you should ask to teacher, madam, please help me, I don't know this, what should I do, I want to go to toilet. So anything related to child's behavior issues which you are facing, it should be written in a whiteboard by writing, follow the rules with the pictures, because when we tell it orally, our kids may find difficulty to imagine it and to understand it. So if you just write it as a rule and stick pictures, then he will understand it perfectly well. And show these rules every day before going to school, during walking to the school, every day you should just keep on repeating it until you see the behavior is being settled. Later, to get more awareness about school, I used social stories. So I'll be sharing a list of books from where I have collected the social stories, and it's not only for school but for the public places, way the child should learn to behave, and to the replacement of behavior is important. See, we just need not tell the child that don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. No, we should tell them, instead of doing this behavior, what he should do. So that is the most important. We should show them a direction to follow. One example I would like to give. My son, he is having delayed echolalia, which means that he will be just recalling something from a past incident which has been happened, or anything which we tell him, and he will be just processing it, and he will be just orally telling it when he is not engaged. So I keep on trying my efforts to make him reduce his volume and do those orally echolalia in his mind. So he should think in his mind and talk in his mind, and not to open his mouth like we people do. So this is something I am teaching him. And for replacing this behavior, I have shared few of his few things with him. Like when he want to keep on talking to himself, instead he can write the things on a notebook, or he could read the story. Like it will be just, he want to tell something, but instead we can utilize that by reading a story. So what I did, replacing of a behavior through reading a story. If it is at home, I could guide him. But if this kind of stimming, it would be it is a stimming only. So if this kind of delayed echolalia is happening to him at school, he needs to learn to control it. He should able to self-regulate it by himself, and he should know how to do it. So what I did, if he want to do to talk to himself, I told him, you can take your English textbook from your bag, read chapter number 1 in your mind in a low voice. No one should hear you because the class is going on. You should read the chapter number 1. After completing the reading, you should put 1 star under it. So see one thing, in school, just before child is leaving to school, make sure the child himself packs his bag. Let the child know that where is the bottle kept, where is the snacks box kept. You should keep some set of activities, worksheets. Like when he was in first standard, they had like 2 months of offline classes immediately after the lockdown. So during this time, I kept some worksheets, some max activity books, some coloring, dot matching, activity books, everything. I kept a set of books in his bag so that it was nearly for 4 hours of class, but he managed it well. During that time he will be able to he will be completing his this kind of activity even if he is not able to concentrate in class, but he will be doing this activity and he will be very calm and quiet. But this year, this academic year, I don't want to give him this kind of activity, so that he just focus in the activity alone and not able to give attention to the class. So what I did, I did not give any kind of activity sheet or any drawing activity book or worksheet, anything. Instead, I made him to follow the school rules. Like the in school rules I have given. If he is boring, if the class is boring for him, he is not able to focus anything, he can take his English, because see, Hindi is difficult for him to read and understand. So he could take English or maths. He is good with numbers, so I have given options. You can take any of this textbook and read it. So the final one was social stories. I have already shared lot of videos related to social stories and role play, how we can use those methods to improve behavior correction. And definitely lot of these kind of methods help me for correcting various behavior issues which came across our journey. So when we talk about social story, many of the able to go by yourself personally, or if you want to talk about the public places, the way the child needs to behave on various public places, everything can be covered using the social play. And I have shared lot many videos on my channel related to social story as well as role play. With social stories, what happened, I could make him to develop his awareness. If we behave like this, do you know how the teacher will be thinking about you? You can't be a favorite student of your teacher. So for being a favorite student of your teacher, how you need to behave, and I'll be showing related pictures and social stories and so on. I am able to make him to overcome the behavior issues which I am facing. Also, whenever the child is doing a mistake, make sure the child able to understand the mistake which he or she has been done, and immediately you should ask, instead of doing this, what we have to do. And I'll be sharing some of the social story books materials which you can use with your child. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you. This is the first book which I want to show, and here are the topics which is being covered in this book. So like using these pictures, we could describe the child, like the boy needs to cut his nails, hair should be combed before going out. So this I have made practice with Vaishnav. I showed the picture and I used to explain him, and every time before going outside, let it be for school or any places, I make him to comb his hair by himself, and this will be covered in our ADL. Now the importance of brushing, like twice a day, after potty washing our hand, taking bath, dressing up by themselves. So we can show the picture and tell, see, this boy is big boy now, like Vaishnav. So he is getting ready by himself. He changed his dress after going to room. He wore his shirt. The girl is wearing socks for going to school. So this way you should wear your socks by yourself. So just if the child's language and understanding is so good, you can just tell, see, the mama is not helping, she's a grown up girl, she's very independent, she's very good, we need to dress up by ourselves. So anything related to bring up the language or understanding or the way to be behaved in public places, this books can be used. So here the before going to school, this one I have done so many time. I used to just do like a revision I used to do with Vaishnav to make him understand how to behave at particular places. Like for going to school, you should wake up early morning, and after waking up, doing brushing, you should do your exercise as soon as waking up. Like if Vaishnav is he used to get up at 6 only, but he will do exercise only at 7. So I will be telling him immediately after your waking up you should do exercise, it is important. Then taking bath, pray time. So while doing yoga itself, I am making him to do prayer. Like I will be I used to make him do Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. The Om chanting will be done during the yoga time. And see the way we should behave at school. When the teacher comes, you should stand and tell good morning teacher. You should, I think you should sit at your place. You should not disturb your friends, or else your friend will be very sad. While if you want to go to toilet, you should raise your hand and ask permission. So this was the way I'm showing this kind of pictures. Like while standing, stand in a queue. So various behavior method correction can be done using this. This is one more book which I brought. Yes. So here what now I am making him to tell, like see, we have read in our story book that before entering the classroom, the child should ask, "May I come in, madam?" And if the child wants to go out, what should we ask to madam? Madam, can I go out? So same way, when the bus comes, we have to stand in queue. This is one more book which I am having. So actually there are so many books, and what we do, I'll be taking any one book every day night at bedtime story, and we will just talk about the stories. Like a story only, I am covering all these social stories. So in this we have so many topics: manners at home, manners at public place, manners on telephone, manners with guests, so many. So see, here it is such a, yeah, here it is, so many things is being covered. Everything. I really love this book, and the way it is being done is really helpful. I have brought this Benny stories from Amazon, and there are lot many topics like Benny learns to care, Benny has a friend. So even in this, it is very short, and Vaishnav really loves to read, and just imagine the story. He loves to read, and we can talk so many things about the story. So thank you.